My wife said, "It was just one mistake." I replied, "So, is this divorce?" Then I hired the best lawyer, kept everything, disappeared, and I smiled when her affair partner refused to leave his wife. Hey Reddit, it was just one mistake. One night. Why are you throwing away 15 years over one mistake? I looked at my wife across our kitchen table, the same table where we'd eaten breakfast that morning, where she'd kissed me goodbye before I left for work, where she'd smiled at me like nothing had changed, and I felt absolutely nothing. "You're right," I said calmly. "So is this divorce. I'm 39 years old. Been married for 15 years. 3 days ago, I found out my wife had been sleeping with her coworker for 6 months." The color drained from her face. "You don't mean that?" "I've already contacted a lawyer. You'll be served papers tomorrow." She stood up so fast her chair fell backward. "Wait, you can't just. We need to talk about this. We need counseling. We can fix this." I picked up my coffee mug, still warm, still half full, and took a slow sip. "There's nothing to fix. You made your choice. I'm making mine. But I love you. I made a mistake. It didn't mean anything." I set the mug down carefully. "If it didn't mean anything, why did you do it for 6 months? She opened her mouth, closed it, tried again. He pursued me. I was weak. I don't care." I stood up. "I genuinely don't care about the reasons. I care about the result. And the result is that my marriage is over." "Where are you going?" "Out. I'll be back for my things later this week. Until then, I'm staying at a hotel." "You're leaving? Right now?" "Yes." She grabbed my arm. Her eyes were wet, mascara already starting to run. Please don't do this. I'll do anything. I'll quit my job. I'll never see him again. I removed her hand gently but firmly. "You should have thought about that before." I walked out. Didn't look back. Didn't slam the door. Just left. The thing is, I didn't find out by accident. 3 days earlier, I'd been at a work conference in Chicago. My session ended early, so I decided to catch an earlier flight home. Surprise my wife. Maybe take her out to dinner. We'd been busy lately. Me with work, her with work, and I thought a spontaneous date night might be nice. I didn't call ahead. Wanted it to be a surprise. I got home around 8 p.m. Her car was in the driveway. The lights were on upstairs. I let myself in quietly, already imagining her face when she saw me. I heard music playing upstairs. Our bedroom. I started up the stairs. And I heard it. Not music. Sounds. Her sounds. Sounds I knew intimately after 15 years of marriage. My hand froze on the banister. Maybe I should have stormed up there. Thrown open the door. Confronted them in the act. That's what happens in movies, right? But I didn't. I stood there in my own hallway, holding my overnight bag, listening to my wife have sex with another man in our bed, and I felt this strange cold clarity wash over me. This wasn't rage. This wasn't shock. This was calculation. I walked back downstairs, silent as a ghost. Set my bag down by the door. Pulled out my phone. Started recording. Then I waited. 20 minutes later, I heard footsteps. Low voices. Laughter. He came down first. Mid-40s, decent looking, wearing a suit. He had this satisfied, relaxed expression that made my jaw tighten. I waited until he was halfway across the living room before I stepped out of the shadows. Evening. He nearly jumped out of his skin. Spun around. Went white. My wife appeared at the top of the stairs in a robe. "Honey?" I thought I heard. She saw me. Froze. "Don't let me interrupt," I said pleasantly. "You were just leaving, right?" The guy, I later learned his name was Christopher, stammered something incoherent and practically ran for the door. I didn't move. Didn't stop him. Just watched him go. My wife came down the stairs slowly, clutching her robe. "I can explain." "Can you?" "It's not. This isn't." "How long?" She hesitated. That told me everything. "How long?" 6 months. Barely a whisper. I nodded slowly. 6 months. So this wasn't a mistake. This was a choice. A repeated choice. Every single time. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking." Is he married?" Another hesitation. Answer me. Yes. Does his wife know? No. I pulled out my phone. Started typing. What are you doing? Looking him up. Christopher. What's his last name? Please don't. His last name. She told me. Her voice was shaking. I found his Facebook profile within seconds. There she was. His wife. Pretty woman, blonde, smiling in every photo. 3 kids. The youngest looked about 5. Does he love you? My wife stared at me. What? Does he love you? Did he say he'd leave her for you? Is that what this was? We didn't talk about that. So you were just convenient. A side piece. Don't say it like that. How should I say it? I looked up from my phone. You destroyed our marriage for a guy who's never going to leave his wife. Do you even realize that? He's not going to choose you. You're not special to him. You're just available. She started crying. Stop it. The truth hurts, doesn't it? I made a mistake. No. I put my phone away. A mistake is forgetting to pay a bill. A mistake is missing an anniversary. This was a series of deliberate choices. You chose him over me. Every single time you met him. Every single lie you told me. Every single time you looked me in the eye and pretended everything was fine. I love you. No, you don't. You love what I provide. Stability. Security. Our home. But you don't love me. That's not true. Then why did you fuck him in our bed? She flinched like I'd slapped her. That's what I thought, I said. I'll sleep at a hotel tonight. Don't contact me. I picked up my bag and left. That was 3 days ago. Now, sitting in my lawyer's office, I felt the same cold clarity I'd felt standing in that hallway. Tell me everything, David said. David Chun, best divorce attorney in the state, according to multiple sources. Cost a fortune. Worth every penny. I told him. All of it. Showed him the audio recording I'd made. The photos I'd taken of Christopher's car parked in our driveway on different occasions once I started looking through our security footage. The credit card statements showing hotel charges I'd never known about. David listened, taking notes, his expression professionally neutral. How much do you want? He asked when I finished. Everything. Everything. The house is in my name. I bought it before we married. She contributed nothing to the down payment. I want her out. I want to keep my retirement accounts. I want to make sure she gets the absolute minimum the law allows. Washington is a no-fault state. Infidelity doesn't necessarily. I know, but we have a prenup. David's eyebrows rose. You have a prenup? My father insisted. He's a lawyer too, retired now. He made sure it was ironclad. In the event of infidelity, proven with evidence, she gets almost nothing. Well then, David smiled slightly. This just got interesting. May I see the prenup? I handed it over. Watched him read. Watched his smile grow. Your father is a very smart man. He didn't like her from the beginning. Said she was too interested in my money. I didn't believe him. Do you believe him now? I thought about it. I believe she liked what I could give her. I'm not sure she ever actually loved me. That's not my area of expertise. David set the prenup down. But legally, you're in an excellent position. With this prenup and your evidence, we can push for a very favorable settlement. She'll likely walk away with minimal assets. Good. I have to ask, is this revenge? Because revenge can cloud judgment, and I need you thinking clearly. I shook my head. It's not revenge. It's justice. She broke our contract. There are consequences for that. Fair enough. David opened his laptop. Let's get started. The divorce papers were served 2 days later. A process server showed up at our house while she was home. She called me immediately. You actually did it. You actually filed. I told you I would. I thought once you calmed down. I am calm. I've never been more calm in my life. Have you read what you're asking for? You want the house. You want everything. You're leaving me with nothing. You should have thought about that. I have no job. I quit, remember? Like you wanted. I never wanted you to quit. You chose to quit because you said you wanted to focus on yourself. That was your choice. I quit because you made enough money that I didn't have to work. And now you'll have to work again. Welcome to the real world. She was quiet for a moment. Then, you've changed. No, I just stopped being your doormat. I never treated you like a doormat. Didn't you? I worked 60-hour weeks while you stayed home. I paid for everything. I never complained when you went out with friends or took trips with your sister. I supported every decision you made. And you repaid me by fucking your coworker in our bed. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. Sign the papers. Make this easy. Or don't. And we'll go to court. And I'll make sure everyone knows exactly why our marriage ended. You wouldn't. Try me. I hung up. My phone rang again immediately. I declined a call. She called 15 more times that day. I blocked her number. The next contact came through David. Her lawyer called, he said. She wants to negotiate. No. She's asking for the house. Says she has nowhere to go. She can go to Christopher's place. Oh wait, he won't leave his wife. David chuckled. I didn't say that. Feel free to tell her lawyer. She's also asking for spousal support. The prenup addresses that too. But her lawyer is claiming emotional distress. Says you abandoned her. I left after discovering her affair. That's not abandonment. I know. He knows. He's posturing. Do you want me to remind him about the prenup? Or should we let him waste his client's money on a losing strategy? Let him waste it. I'm not in a hurry. This could get expensive for her. That's her problem. There was a pause. You're really not interested in reconciliation at all. Would you be? Honestly, no. But some people are. I'm not some people. Clearly. David sounded almost impressed. All right. We'll proceed with the original filing. Prepare for her lawyer to fight it. Let him try. 2 weeks passed. I stayed at a hotel, nice one, downtown, with a gym and a decent restaurant. I worked my regular hours. Went to the gym. Read books. Slept better than I had in months. My phone rang one evening. Unknown number. I answered. Hello. We need to talk. Christopher's voice. Strained. I don't think we do. Your wife? She's been calling my house. Showing up at my work. She's going to ruin my marriage. I felt a cold satisfaction. That's unfortunate. Tell her to stop. I'm not her keeper. We're getting divorced. Because of me. No. Because of her. You were just the guy she chose to cheat with. Could have been anyone. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I shouldn't have. It was wrong. But it's over now. Tell her it's over. You tell her. You're the one who started it. She won't listen to me. Then I guess you have a problem. I started to hang up. Wait. Your wife? She told my wife. Everything. My wife kicked me out. I'm staying at my brother's place. My kids won't talk to me. I've lost everything. Good. Silence. Then what? I said good. You earned it. You knew what you were risking. Now you're paying the price. Just like she is. You're a cold bastard. I'm a man who kept his vows. You're a man who didn't. We're not the same. I hung up. Blocked his number too. I found out later what had happened through my wife's sister, who, surprisingly, had reached out to me with an apology and an update. She went crazy, the sister said over coffee. After you filed, after she realized you were serious, she started obsessing over Christopher. Convinced herself that if you wouldn't take her back, he would leave his wife for her. He was never going to do that. I know. You know. She didn't know. Or didn't want to know. She started calling him constantly. Showing up at his office. His wife found out. I think someone from his work told her. And she confronted them both. How did that go? About how you'd expect. She kicked him out immediately. Filed for divorce. And Christopher? He blamed your wife for everything. Said she seduced him. Said she was obsessed. Completely threw her under the bus to try to save his marriage. Did it work? No. His wife is taking him to the cleaners. And your wife? She's alone. Christopher won't even take her calls now. Blocked her on everything. I sipped my coffee. Said nothing. Are you happy about this? The sister asked carefully. I'm not happy. But I'm not sad either. Actions have consequences. She's learning that now. She's devastated. She devastated me first. The sister nodded slowly. I can't argue with that. I'm sorry, by the way, for what she did. You deserved better. Thank you. Are you really going to take everything? The house, the accounts, all of it. The prenup is clear. She gets what she's entitled to under the prenup, which isn't much. Where will she go? That's not my problem anymore. She's my sister. I love her. But you're right. She made her bed. The sister laughed bitterly. Literally. We finished our coffee. I never spoke to her again. The divorce took 3 months to finalize. My wife tried everything: stalling tactics, appeals to emotion through mutual friends, even showing up at my office once. The office incident was brief. She walked past security. Someone held the door for her, not realizing, and made it to my floor before anyone stopped her. I was in a meeting when my assistant knocked. "I'm sorry to interrupt, but your wife is here." The room went quiet. Everyone knew by then. Office gossip spreads fast. "Tell her I'll be out in 10 minutes. My assistant nodded and left. I finished my meeting. Took my time. Then I went to the lobby. She looked terrible. Hadn't seen her in weeks, and the change was shocking. She'd lost weight. Her hair was unwashed. Dark circles under her eyes. "We need to talk," she said. "We have lawyers for that. Please. Just 5 minutes." I checked my watch. "You have 3. I'm begging you. Don't take everything. Leave me something. Please. I have nothing. Nowhere to go. My parents won't help me. They're ashamed of what I did. My friends won't return my calls. I'm staying in a motel. I'm almost out of money. Sign the papers. I'll have nothing. You'll have what you're entitled to under the prenup, which is more than you deserve. How can you be so cruel? How could you be so selfish?" I countered. "You had everything. A husband who loved you. A beautiful home. Financial security. And you threw it all away for what? 6 months of sex with a man who didn't even like you enough to leave his wife. I made a mistake, and now you're living with the consequences. That's how life works. I still love you." "No, you don't. You love what I provided. There's a difference." "That's not true. Then why did you cheat?" She had no answer. "Thumbs up," I said. "Sign the papers or don't. Either way, this marriage is over." I walked away. Security escorted her out. She never came back. The final hearing was anticlimactic. We appeared before a judge via video conference. COVID protocols were still in effect for some proceedings. My wife had finally signed the papers. Her lawyer had convinced her that fighting was pointless. The judge reviewed everything, confirmed the prenup was valid, granted the divorce. "The marriage is hereby dissolved," the judge said. "The prenuptial agreement will be enforced as written. Mr., you retain all property purchased before the marriage, including the marital home. Mrs., you are entitled to 50% of assets acquired during the marriage, minus those protected by the prenuptial agreement, which amounts to approximately $43,000 from the joint savings account. Neither party is required to pay spousal support under the terms of the prenup. This matter is concluded." Gavel. Done. I closed my laptop. Sat in my hotel room. Felt nothing. Not joy. Not relief. Not satisfaction. Just emptiness where a marriage used to be. I sold the house 2 weeks later. Couldn't live there anymore. Too many memories, tainted now. Bought a condo downtown. Smaller, modern mine. Started over. That was 9 months ago. I ran into Christopher last week. Complete accident. Coffee shop near my office. He saw me. Froze. Looked like he wanted to run. I walked over. Sat down across from him uninvited. "How's life?" I asked. He stared at me. "Are you serious?" Genuinely curious. He laughed. Bitter, broken. "My ex-wife has full custody. I see my kids every other weekend when they agree to see me. I'm paying child support and alimony. I had to sell my house. I'm living in a studio apartment. My career is stagnant because the scandal made me toxic at my company. How do you think life is?" "Sounds rough. You're enjoying this." "I'm not actually. I feel nothing about you at all. You're just a guy who made bad choices. Your wife, your ex-wife, she was the one who nothing. You're a grown man. You made your choices. Own them." He looked away. "She calls me sometimes. Drunk, crying, begging me to talk to her." "Do you?" "No. I blocked her number. But she uses different phones. Finds ways to reach me. That's harassment. Get a restraining order." I did. She violated it twice. Judge gave her a warning. I stood up. Well, good luck with all that. Wait, do you ever hear from her? No, and I never will. I made a clean break. How? He looked genuinely desperate. How did you just move on? I thought about it. Because I realized something. She didn't betray me because of who I am. She betrayed me because of who she is. And once I understood that, there was nothing left to feel. No anger. No hurt. Just acceptance. I don't understand. You will. Eventually. Or you won't. Either way, it's not my problem. I left him there. I think about my ex-wife sometimes. Wonder where she is. What she's doing. If she ever thinks about the life she had and threw away. But I don't wonder long. And I never reach out. My friends ask if I'll date again. Maybe. Someday. Not yet. Right now, I'm rebuilding. My life. My trust. Myself. I work. I travel. I bought a nice watch. Something I'd always wanted but never splurged on. Joined a cycling club. Made new friends who don't know my history. Last month, I got promoted. VP of Operations. More money. More responsibility. More purpose. Life is good. Different. Quieter. But good. People say divorce is failure. That I gave up too easily. That 15 years deserved more than 3 months of fighting for it. But here's what they don't understand. I didn't give up. I chose myself. For the first time in 15 years, I chose my dignity over her comfort. My self-respect over her mistakes. And you know what? I'd make the same choice again. Every single time. Because at the end of the day, when someone shows you who they really are, believe them. She showed me she was willing to betray me for 6 months. To lie to my face. To bring another man into our home. Into our bed. And I showed her that actions have consequences. She called it one mistake. I called it one divorce. And I was right. Sometimes I drive past our old house, the one I sold. New family lives there now. Young couple looks like. They planted flowers in the front yard. Painted the door blue. It looks happy. I keep driving. Forward. Always forward. That's the thing about closure. You don't always get it from the other person. Sometimes you have to give it to yourself. So I did. And I've never looked back.